to say expectations minus reality equals happiness. Do we need to think about that for a minute? Expectations minus reality equals happiness. So when expectations and reality match up, we're pretty happy, right? What happens when expectations do not meet reality? We get frustrated, right? We're disappointed, we're upset, or mad, or angry. I guess sometimes that reality can be better than expectations, but the majority of the time we just have to adapt. And that is harder for some of us than others. And I think my first through hike on the Appalachian Trail, I wasn't used to constantly having to adapt. And my friend Warren Doyle, I had taken a class from him before I started the trail. This man has hiked the entire path 18 times. So he knows a thing or two about it, right? And I think during that workshop, he said that on average you have, is it 25% good weather days? 20%. And then another 20% are too hot. Or another too cold. Too dry. Too wet. Too buggy. Too rocky. It makes me so mad how the outdoors is marketed. And we all do it here in Western North Carolina because we sell the outdoors. But it is not a spa. And it is not like the most epic thing we've ever done. It's usually just slightly uncomfortable. You know, that is the reality of spending time outdoors. It is slightly uncomfortable. But there are some moments that are, they're not perfect, they're like divine, you know? And the first moment I really had like that was at Road Mountain. And I hiked up there and I was on the slopes headed out to Grassy Ball, Jane Ball by myself as the sun was going down. So the sky was changing colors and the mountains were changing colors. And I could hear the birds and feel the breeze. And the slopes down below were spruce and fir trees. So this moment smelled like Christmas. And it was the most beautiful thing that I had ever taken in. And it hit me in that moment that I was a part of it. And at first I was like, no, I don't think so. Like that, no, that's weird. Like this is cool, and nature is beautiful, but nature is out there. It's out the window. We aren't a part of it, right? I don't know, but the trail gives you a lot of time to think, right? So then I started thinking through this, and I asked myself the question, okay, biologically, scientifically, are we a part of nature? Got a lot of yeses and absolutely. It's hometown proud, so I appreciate that. Maybe it's subjective. Maybe there's no right or wrong answer, but for me, it was a yes. And so then I ran it through my spiritual lens, and that checked out too. And so for the first time in my life, I believed that I was a part of nature. And what happened next, I mean, it was a moment that changed my life, but there was a feeling with it. You know when you just get filled with warmth. It was like a warm wave crashed over me. And now I'm in my 40s and I call it a hot flash. But in your 20s, it's just this divine energy. And the first thing I felt was beautiful. And I'm not talking about a cultural beauty. And I'm not talking about billboards or commercials. I'm just saying that I was looking at the most beautiful scene I had ever taken in, and I knew I was a part of it, and it made me feel beautiful in a way that I wish I had felt at 16. And in a way that I hope my daughter and my son will feel someday. And on top of that, I felt wild. Like wild, you know? I mean, way better than just like wearing cheetah print. Like, it is such a good feeling to feel wild. If you don't growl at some point during your day, you should. It is an immediate, it really is, an immediate mood booster, I promise you. But here's the thing, like, we are such domestic, indoor, sedentary critters, and that's not what we're supposed to be. So when you go outdoors and you really realize that you're wild and you feel wild, oh, it feels good. And then on top of that, and probably most of all, I felt responsible. Because I looked out and I accepted that if I was a part of it, what happens to my environment and what happens to my neighbor impacts me. And that all of my actions have ripples as well. And it was a whole new way to see the world and my place in it. And it has influenced everything I have done since then. And thank you. And don't you think after that moment that the trail should have gotten easier? The trail should have gotten better? I mean, it was a pretty big realization, but the trail stayed hard. Man, it was hard, and it kept throwing new things at me. I got to Virginia, I had this guy follow me for 6 days. I didn't want him to follow me for 6 days, and I know because of the world we live in, I have to really clarify, but I never felt threatened. Okay, physically, I am pretty sure I could have taken this guy, but emotionally, it was uncomfortable, it was parasitic, and I had to find how to use my voice. I had to find how to have difficult and hard conversations. I had to learn how to sometimes make other people uncomfortable so that I could exist comfortably on the trail. Woo. Yes, thank you. Okay, so that was one lesson. Now it's supposed to get better. Now it's supposed to get easier.